I'm going to take her out on the motor for a little bit and see if I can get some of that glug off the bottom of the boat. Yeah, let's hope that prop is still nice and clean after we cleaned it up last time. Shouldn't have got too bad in that short space of time. Anyway. I've decided to head back to the mooring. It's only 10:30. There's a possibility of more wind later on, but more importantly, if there is something wrong with this prop and it's causing a problem for the boat, I don't want it to be exacerbated by driving it all the way up the harbour, especially not at these low speeds. So I'll get back and stick the GoPro underneath the boat and see what's going on. Take two. I've just had the wetsuit on and been back under the boat again because the prop was all fouled with barnacles again. So was the drive shaft. There's this awful vibration, and I can see why, because the drive shaft was just covered in grot. That's the anode on the prop shaft. That shouldn't be there. That is just a conglomeration of weed and lots of barnacles all stuck on top of each other. So yeah, I definitely need to go in and get it prop speeded, and yeah, I'll get it anti-fouled and prop speeded in the next few weeks. But I was in the UK for 3 weeks, so it's probably only 4 weeks, maybe 5 at the most, since I cleaned that prop. So in 5 weeks' time, it got to the stage where it was almost as bad as it was before. So yeah, prop speed's a good thing, but you've got to keep at it. This is the beauty of being out on the water in the middle of a work week and when it's a bit cooler, so we're just about in winter. Apart from the commercial vessels, there is very, very little around. When we get out to the main harbour, so east of the harbour bridge, which we're just coming up to, you can start, this is the Sydney CBD there, we're just coming around the corner. Harbour Bridge is coming into view now. So when we get east of that, it will be a little bit busier, particularly the Mad Mile between Blues Point and Kirribilli Point. But absolutely nothing like on the weekend, and certainly nothing like what it is in summer. So if you have that ability to get out at these times, well and truly worth doing. If there is a more spectacular place to sail, I want you to tell me where it is, because I reckon this is pretty good. Yeah, it's a pretty nice spot, I've got to say. Not the best sailing done in this particular part, but the scenery is quite good. I've just seen Graham and Rhapsody go past. First time we've actually seen each other on the water, so we'll have to catch up at some point. Good to see you out there, Graham. This is one of the big Sydney ferries, and people I've seen on forums complain that the ferries don't give way to sail. If you note that there is an orange or a red diamond on the mast there, that indicates that the ferry has a right of way. Plus there's the law of tonnage to keep in mind, and I don't care if I've got the right of way or not. That thing would make a hell of a mess of me, so yeah. It goes where it wants to go, I'll go around it. And here we are passing Admiralty House. This is the official Sydney residence of the Governor-General of Australia. Just around the corner is Kirribilli House, which is the Sydney residence of the Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of Australia. Both of those office holders have residences in Canberra, and I'm very happy to say that the Prime Minister's residence, the Lodge, is in my own suburb of Deakin. So if you're ever in Sydney, there's often open days at Admiralty House, well and truly worth a look. You can get like a washing machine in this little area. It's a very high traffic area for ferries, and you see the boat is just pitching and rolling, and that's just what happens in the Mad Mile. I generally sit down. I don't know why I'm standing up, but kind of got my feet wedged against the bulkhead. So as predicted, there's a lot more boat traffic out here. I might take that seat because it's going to get a little bit crazy here in a minute. Ugh. So that's my wetsuit drying. It's actually a skiff wetsuit, but it's all I had. And it certainly kept me a lot warmer than what it would have been otherwise underneath the boat. It was quite invigorating, actually, I have to say, but I'm not very keen to do it again. Over here is Garden Island, which is obviously a naval base. I wasn't sure what that one L02 or L02, I wasn't sure what that kind of ship was, and I happened to run into a naval captain at a petrol station, and I showed him a picture, and apparently helicopters take off from those. For the uninitiated, this is called Fort Denison. It was originally a defensive installment, but it has also served as a prison over its time, and it's commonly known as Pinchgut, which I am led to believe was coined by some First Nations inhabitants of there when they were incarcerated there, because they weren't given too much to eat. But Fort Denison can be visited. There is you see a ferry wharf there, and you can do a guided tour. There is still Some guns, I believe, in the main fort, but it doesn't really have any other use apart from tourism these days. Thankfully. Let's see if we can see any of the guns in the. You can see how thick the works are there. Look how thick they are. Absolutely glorious day here, but unfortunately there is no wind, so I guess you can't have everything. We continued our relaxing cruise out towards the heads. Not going out the heads though, turning left into Balmoral Beach for a relaxing afternoon before hitting the open ocean the following day, but we'll leave that for another time.